gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed.
Sound check. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXX Report. Retired, 72 years of age, peptide therapy free, senior citizen receiving Social Security payments, a MAGA member, proud of it, a holistic life, mind, body, spirit, fitness, lifestyle, embracing spirituality, keeping my mind right. Broadcasting from
Boca Vista.
Thank you, Frank. Central Florida. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, and my generalized social online platform. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping it civil and protect the children from those abusive, aggressive, active alcoholics. They shouldn't be able to. I stand with the shroom. I was going to unblock him, but then, I've just been burnt too many times. But I do support, if I can help put the MP3s together, or you need an MP4 file made. But he's pretty savvy on the computer. Beautiful Sunday. Keep waiting for it to rain. These thunderstorms, they keep promising thunderstorms. Nothing. But it's the places where it does need rain, except this place, even though we had some, it is getting it. So the dry areas in Florida, it's really strange weather, how they forecast it here. It's always a coverage. When I lived in a smaller area, like in Utah, they were talking really about that northern region. So 10% chance meant 10% chance of rain, but here it means 10% coverage of the entire state. So when they say 50% of the entire state, not in your particular area 50-50, it's not 50-50. So 2 people, well, that's all we got. It's a Sunday. I don't know what's going on. I subscribe to a few channels just to make sure I don't, it's free. Try to sneak in a show. So what do we got today? Let's see. Oh, golfers are out. GLP-free Sunday, August 2nd. The Villages, Central Florida, Secretary of State Rubio, I'm going to cover him pretty heavily. He made some comments on CUBA, Venezuela. Kind of interesting. I don't have a lot of stuff. I guess I'm going to rely on the comments today. Or try to. I'll hang out for a while. So let's look at the media. Let's see. I got my delivery. I got one UAP story. It's from 2010, but the video is pretty incredible. And if you want to look for it yourself, just Google, use the browser of your choice and put UAP or UFO, China, July 7th, 2010, that shut down the airport. That was a worldwide story. This is not something that was down south in a trailer court, okay? it shut down a major airport in China. So I do have I stripped out the sound. Everybody likes to put music into their clips. I don't want the music, so I stripped that out of there. It's pretty dramatic. I think it was like 10 kilometers long, the ship, whatever it was, the UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. And I keep looking. I keep thinking, well, I'm just going to wait for my government to be honest with me. Obviously, national security, they're not going to give me everything, but at least something. They have been giving some material, but really the important stuff, the alien or the crash material, because now all of a sudden it takes it out of the demon realm or the spiritual realm. And it's material that from the books, the one book I was reading, until it got into the paranormal stuff, which to me is like occult stuff. I don't want to read that. I stay away as far away of that as I can. But when you have scientists that have this material that they fold up and it bounces back into shape, and it's like tinfoil, but it never loses its shape, and you can hit it with a sledgehammer, and I guess it's laid down in a certain atomic structure that we don't have the ability to duplicate, a technology we don't have. So, but once they show the craft, and again, we haven't even had a government official say have made an official comment yet. So they're going to do what they're going to do. Does it affect me? Am I going to lose sleep over it? No. Say it with me. Spiritually centered on this Sunday. So, but I'm curious about it. Thank you for another day of living. Lord, I will rejoice. Be glad in it and not overthink it. But I will reflect upon it. How great thou art. All right, so my back. It's very uncomfortable. The bed, I sleep fine. It's that damn chair. Let's see if I got a shot of it for you. I think I do. No, that's Trump TV. Oh, here it is. Right there by the coffee cup, that small green thing, it has a steel frame in it, but I can't recline, and it's just, but I recline anyway by bending my back, and it's like, and it will not give an inch, so I had to do something about it. What am I to do? Go out and buy furniture? What am I going to do? So what I decided, I got this beautiful recliner in the lanai, and you've seen that before, and it's an electric cord, and it's also a rocker. It's a reclining. You can have it all the way down, and it rocks. So and I can get. It's just a much better chair, but it's heavy as hell. So what did I do? I thought, well, I'm gonna have to get I can't pick it up. There's no way I can pick it up. So I did a little shopping. I went and got coffee, got back. Because it was supposed to be raining, so I got up there, early. And there's no rain. There's nothing. Where's the thunderstorm? So I finished like 20% of my coffee, and I thought, okay, I'm in my socks. So I do have these rubberized type things. So I'm not going to, I don't want to hurt my back any further, or the muscle. So I put these things on. I need a shoehorn with my socks. So now I'm not going to slip on the floor. Great. So I take that chair apart that's in the living room. I take it completely apart. You have to unzip the back thing off. And again, there's steel in there. I mean, this thing is a quality chair. And then I took the Velcro, the bottom, the seat of it, you can peel away. And of course, I check, there's a bunch of crud, corn kernels in the sides and whatever. I don't know. So I vacuumed that out. So I took those components into the lanai. Oh, we got a comment. Thank you. Keep it civil. Big Tulky Vulture. Publix is kind of expensive for me, and it's all about convenience. I'm very close to the Big W, Walmart. So I went in there, got some heat and eats and some bananas and chicken salad. But Publix is further down. I'll go down there and get Cubans. And when it's time for the holidays, the neighbors, I'll get a couple shrimp trays for Thanksgiving. They're pretty good. And then that's where I get my vaccinations, is at Publix. And that's down the street. But that's further. But I'm on my way. And then plus I got to, and then after I shop, I bring this stuff right home because it's got to go in the refrigerator. And then I just relax and go up to Wawa, get my coffee. And the lady, I can see her looking at me. I'm getting the coffee, and she goes, "No burrito today?" I go, no, just coffee. But, I always say hi to them because, man, when they can really pile it in there, that pulled pork. The guy made it last time. He didn't do a very, he wasn't generous, let's put it that way. So anyway, okay, so I take the chair apart because I'm just going to go as far as I can because I'm thinking I'll just hire a couple guys to move it. So I get it in, get it apart, and I move the components to the lanai except for the main chair. So I thought, well, let me put it out of the way. And I don't know, this is the reason you learn by doing, and you get on the dance floor. You at least attempt something. So I don't know how I'm going to get it up because the lanai sits lower than the main floor. So you got to lift the thing up. So I drag it along the floor to the lip of the thing, and then voila, there's the answer. I just tip it over. So I push it forward until it's upside down. Now it's arcing over the lip. Oh, great. So I just have to lift it, and I just slide it up. I lift it up and slide it, and then I slide it all the way into position and then turn it right side up. It was great. It tickled me. I did it by myself. I didn't have to lift. I didn't have to throw my back out. Now, that's obvious, like you should have figured. I didn't visualize it. I just thought you have to lift it to get it over there. And then I realized you just turn it upside down. It's already over the thing. So I got it all set up, rocking. But I do like the ottoman that comes with that green chair. So I'm going to keep that in there. Even though if I want to recline in this, I'll have to move the ottoman and then it'll recline. But I just like the position of put my legs up on that. It's just perfect. And then I can rock and I can sit back a little bit. I think it's going to help the back tremendously. And of course, I got my fitness clothes laid out. I'm all set for Monday morning. When I see people over there, I said, well, just another day at the office. They laugh. I just have to get it done. So what else have we got going? Oh, so I put all my credit cards on bill pay. On auto pay. The Apple Card, Sam's Club's MasterCard, and the Citibank Visa. So I got those on auto pay. I haven't had the first payment yet, so I don't. If they don't take it out, it's not my fault. And I've decided when I'm on the other side of town at Costco, then I'll use the Citibank Visa. On this side of town, it's going to be the Apple Card and the MasterCard, Sam's Club MasterCard. And there's certain things I don't have to track, it's about convenience, about ease of use. Your back is hurting? Well, yeah, because I'm sitting improperly. It's a muscle something to where you can't straighten up. And I do straighten up. I can do my whole routine, but I think this chair now will take it away for me. Hey, listen, 72. And then I get on the scale and it says, you have the vascular age of a 74. I got to start looking this stuff up. By standing on the scale, you can tell me my what do they mean vascular? What is vascular? What is vascular? I was thinking blood, but I'm not sure. Yeah, blood vessels, arteries, capillaries, circulatory system. how would they know if I had blockage or I have 74? And I'm not sure they mean 74 years of age. So I got to look up some terms on that. The name of it is the Withings body comp scale. So I weighed this morning, a little, 202, so I'm up in weight. So I just got to, I'm going to give it a lot of data. I'm going to weigh myself minimum 4 times a week. Probably more than that. And see those rain lilies? They came back out because we did get some rain. And then like a couple days later, they're gone. But it looks good. It looks nice and green. You can see the watch, one of my watches in the window. See the reflection? I could put up some cardboard to block that. Not a big deal. 9 people. Well, at least something's open. So, comment. Bermuda, well, this is St. Augustine grass. It'll take as much water as you throw at it. It will go brown in the wintertime, though. Bermuda, and I got some stuff there by that little tree. The guy really did a good job on the pest guy who does the lawn. He also fertilizes it, and he also, hits the weeds. And he's like the third guy, and I introduce myself, and he says, well, I usually do the pest control, like in the houses and that, but he says, I know how to do this. He really did. He knocked a lot of that crud out. Well, thank you, Pavel. Looks good. Yeah, thank you. Nice and green. The hedge, nice. So I got an Amazon delivery. Where's my Amazon delivery? Where do you see this thing? Now, these are going to be easier to use than the climbing carabiner. Okay, this is when I have to use the bar, the lat pull down for the back, and I lean back and I do it. And I was surprised because they have the regular steel ones in Amazon. They'll only handle 335 pounds, and then I guess they'll snap. They'll snap over that. I know this is overkill, but I don't know. Kind of like the padlock thing. I just want to get the best, and I didn't know aluminum could be so strong. So this is, first of all, it's the Frescaro, Freskaro, the FK-G2407W, a small pear-shaped utility carabiner intended for attaching and organizing equipment, not for climbing or supporting people. 3 inches in length, the weight is only 21 grams. It's 7075 aluminum alloy. Spring-loaded, non-locking snap gate. Now, guess how much force it can handle? They put it in kilonewtons, approximately 1,575 pounds. I don't want anything breaking while I'm pulling, get hit on the head or fall over or get injured. So I bought the 3-pack because when this thing is down, when people, they'll scavenge the carabiners or the connectors, and it's like there's no connectors there. And I go to the front desk, and they look at me, well, they're not going to leave the desk. They don't give a shit. Manager comes in at 9:30. So I'm going to carry these in the gym bag. And then I'm going to hook it up, use it, and then unhook it. So I thought it was kind of cool. I tried to find out where it was made. I tried to find like an American brand, a lot more expensive. I mean, these are China, I'm guessing. They do make some carabiners in Utah, Clearfield, Utah, and then I started really looking at them like padlocks. They make some rescue fire and rescue connectors for like these baskets for helicopters or to support people. $100, but this is just for the fitness center. This is Shenzhen. It looks like this brand is in Shenzhen brand. Material, I told you, 7075 aluminum, excellent strength to weight alloy. It's amazing. So when I bought those, that'll take 2.5 tons, that other caliber carabiner I showed you, I bought those years ago in Las Vegas because I knew it was a good deal. It was at a climbing store. They were like on sale. And it's 22 KN. So I'm going to take a single one of those too. Plus they're color coded. I thought it was kind of cool. Greg, I hear you coughing. Go push some water. Okay. No, it's not GLP medication. Here, hang on. Ah, that was nice. Yep, you got to push the water. 80 never calling. Uh-oh, here could be trouble. You saw the title. Oh, congratulations. Let's hear it for him. 80 never calling. Good afternoon, docs. Been off the GLP-2 for 9 weeks now, maintaining my weight 198. Congratulations. The goal to remain under 200. Well, that's my goal too. I'm 202, but I bought this new scale, and I want to get down maybe to the lower 90s, 192 or something, and hold it there. But my thing is, I do well it's just before bedtime. And I have gone to bed hungry before. It's not a big deal. I can still get to sleep, but I got to learn to do that. Congratulations. You're Mark Goldberg is taking it now too. So you got Mike the Snake, you got Goldberg, and the Beast is asking all these questions, just a matter of time. Listen, if it's medically necessary, it took the weight off, that's great. And if you can keep it off now, fantastic. Fantastic. What other small talk? What else have I been up to? So, I got that chair set up. I'm really glad about that. That kind of tickled me to be able to get it in here. Okay, this is something I'd probably forget. But the Danube River in Germany and across Europe, I guess, it's really low. So all these mammoth bones are coming up, and so I'm thinking, why? They got a drought over there. So I did a little research on that. Another comment. I joined oh, look at this. Hang on, what? I hear somebody making a comment. You gotta speak up for me to hear you.
You cannot be serious!
No, I think he is serious. I joined a fitness center and been going 3 to 4 times a week with strength training, which may bump me up over 200. Push the water. There's nothing wrong with a little muscle mass. You got to have that anyway to keep the blood sugar down, right? So I love it when these guys, not you, but others will go, I don't want to be muscle bound. No, you won't be muscle bound. That's great. Treadmill. See, my program is, and we're similar age, not really that close, I guess. But I believe in stretching, and I do stretching, then 1 aerobic, then I do the weight training, then I finish up with 2 aerobics. But you got to just be in the game. You just got to be on the dance floor and find out what works for you, and what you can't do. Like my back, or the way my body's constructed. Like guys will hang, they'll get up on this thing and put their elbows on it, and they'll hang down, and then they'll raise their knees up into their chest. That kills my back. So I don't do it. But what I do to help the back, I do the leg raises. I'm off of a bench, hanging my legs over, and I bring my knees up into my chest. I do 75 of those, and then I do 35 sit-ups, crossover sit-ups on the 45 degree. And if your back is strong, if your stomach muscles are strong, that keeps kind of your back in line. Glutes, need strong glutes. It's funny, I was thinking about that. My quadriceps never spasm, never Charlie horse. It's always the hamstring. It's the calf muscle or the hamstring all the time when it does happen. I've never had it in an arm. I've never had it in a quad, the top muscle of your leg. That's strange. Need strong glutes and legs, working hard to get the protein in each day. It's hard. It's not fun, but must be done. Everything else will feel better. All right. Thank you, Greg. Yes, I heard you. I did take some water. Thank you. So, or was I? Oh, the Danube. So I did a little research. Because they're showing, I'm going through YouTube, and it knows I'm interested in nature or whatever. And this guy was washing out the hillside in Alaska, finding all these animal bones. It's permafrost, so you can still smell the animals. There's still biomass with the animals. There's sometimes hair and tissue, and it's fresh because it's been frozen for 20,000 years. He even found a lion bone because he had an expert over there. But I thought it was interesting. Anyway, so YouTube thinks I like nature, which I do. So it showed about the mammoth bones that are showing up in the Danube. So what's wrong with the Danube? So I was asking AI this. The Danube, much of its drainage basin has been prolonged below normal rainfall combined with repeated heat waves. Okay, it heats up the soil, it dries the soil, vegetation increases evaporation. So when the rain falls, more is absorbed before reaching tributaries. All right. In late July of this year, parts of the lower Danube in Romania reached their lowest level since 1996, while Central Eastern Europe are also reporting severe low. Where are the Danube headwaters? The Danube begins, see, I thought, is it snowpack or what? What feeds it? You know, Colorado, it's the snowpack. The Danube begins in the Black Forest, Schwarzwald, in southwestern Germany, in the state of Baden-Württemberg. Its official beginnings at Donaueschingen something, the Brig and the Brag. So the Black Forest is relatively modest, heavily wooded mountain. It's not part of the Alps. Is the Danube dependent on snowpack? Partly, but it is not primarily a snowmelt river like the Colorado. I thought it was interesting. The headwaters in the Black Forest receive both rain and winter snow. And there's tributaries that originate near the Alps. So, you know, you're going to have fluctuations, always fluctuation. And all of Europe, I guess, is experiencing drought. As of mid to late July, substantial parts of Europe are under drought watch, warning, or alert conditions. I don't even know what Las Vegas is doing now because that is completely dependent on Lake Mead for the water. So there you go. There's the Danube in the title, so I don't forget it. Well, now that's interesting. Who else told me that? The guy I talked to, the married guy, his back was killing him too because he had these shoes. He blamed it on the shoes because they were stiff. I guess that's possible. Greg, I changed my shoes, no back pain. Experiment, wear different pairs or make. Well, I know how I got it because I'm lounging in that chair, which it's killing. But my bed is fine, and I'm up walking around. I'm fine with what shoes I'm wearing. I'm walking around. I walk it off, and I feel fine. But when I get in that chair and relax, and I slump down in it, so I got the recliner in there now. So now I'm going to just start reclining. And plus, it's a rocker. It's really an expensive chair. So I just upgraded the chair in the living room. I have some easy-ons, and then I have some hiking. A Venture that has like a more of a hiker sole on it. I haven't even worn those yet. Greg, Skechers, men's max cushioning elite advantage slip-on. Okay. I really don't think it's my footwear, but and I told you the cleaning lady came by, and first thing we did, I gave her all that donation stuff. Just get it out of there. The garage is so so nice now, so organized. So covered the Danube. I showed you my new carabiners for the inspection center. All right, let's do the UAP report. I only have one. I think I've seen it before, but I kind of forgot about it. Okay, so I have a thumbnail for it because I can't, that's the name of the airport. The UF shut it down in July 7th, 2010. So let's have a look at it. I thought it was fascinating. China. There's no sound to it. These are photos of it. They say it was like 10 kilometers or something. It was a large UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon, aerial phenomenon. Isn't that strange? No, it's not a blimp, okay? And these are civilian shots, I think, from underneath it. But again, I'm waiting for the government to tell me what we're experiencing. Fascinating, huh? I think it is. I'm interested in it. Now, are these demons? I don't think so. Are they? Very strange. And there's like a little orbiting thing with it too. Okay, so that's where it happened. Now I cut off part of it because it shows it had too much information on it. I don't want to get dinged. But it showed the same thing over the city, and then it just took off straight up. Just boom, it was gone. It's talking to Baba, the orb. No, it's definitely a phenomenon. I mean, we've had congressional hearings on it, and it's a worldwide phenomenon, and I think we'll see how far it goes. I hope they just get to Roswell and say, hey, we got to clear this up. Yes, there's material, maybe show us the material. And there are bodies, but we're not going to show you the bodies. Okay, now we know that's not a demon now. One of the construction guys, one of the golf employees. All right, let's welcome Secretary of State Marco. I'm not apologizing, but I was watching the show, my last stream, and I go, wait a second, I know I went over 2 hours. What happened? There was a glitch. And for those foreigners, it's a great word. It's a civil word. It's not a vulgarity. Glitch. There was a glitch in my stream, and I'm going to play you the glitch right now.
But the village's charter school is starting next week. Florida families can save big during the 2026.
Yeah, it didn't finish the segment, and it just went directly to the other one. And I didn't notice it on my streamer, and it played fine until I did the playback, and I go, wait a second. It's a glitch. Well, you have to look it up. Something went wrong. Pasta is here. Now, he's saying, don't think it's aliens. Yes, could be, but my belief, there is no bodies. That would settle a lot of things, but I think they do have them. If they have bodies, then you have to do the DNA, right? I would think now, don't you think the Fed or somebody or Elon Musk would go, hey, if we have the material, the biologics, let's do a DNA test, right? If it's, unless they have something completely different. Because I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude, so watch it. And I was going to, what's his name? The Green Room, Shroom, I was going to unblock him, but you know what? I don't trust him now. But I do stand with him on his, if I can help him in any way to keep children safe from abusive, aggressive, active alcoholics, I'll certainly help him out. Okay, did the glitch. Now let's get to Secretary Rubio, and that's with the thumbnail, the International Criminal Court.
So just a couple points that we all know. We've followed in the news, obviously, the events in the Middle East, and others here can talk about that. Not that they're not important, but there's some other issues happening around the world, Mr. President, that you've shown great leadership in that have not gotten nearly as much attention. I think they deserve to mention today. The first is the International Criminal Court is an illegitimate international organization that, frankly, illegitimate. They've made themselves illegitimate because they claim that even if you're not a member of that court, they can come after you. And what that literally means in the future is that American servicemen, political leaders, and others could find themselves under indictment by this International Criminal Court. If you want to know a little bit about it, Jack Smith used to work there. These are the people that think they can go out and basically indict any world leader and haul them into The Hague. So we tried to get them to reform and listen to us. They wouldn't do it. They're very arrogant. We've now begun an effort to really try to bring that court to heel.
By the way, there's no information that they're after me. It could happen. But just so you know, because she's talking about it, I'm saying that means that maybe he's not trying to defend me. He is trying to defend Bibi and various other people. But there are many people that shouldn't be looked at that way. But there is no indication that I'm one of them at this moment.
That's right. Well, and I actually think the people who are in biggest danger in our system are servicemen, people in uniform. That they'll try to go out for the rest of their lives, will not be able to travel anywhere in the world with their families because they could be arrested on one of these. Imagine, you're a soldier, you fought in a war, and 20 years later they try to come grab you. So this is a big problem. So we've had dozens of countries already join us in this effort. Since we started 2 weeks ago, 5 countries have already quit the ICC and notified them that they're leaving, and we think there'll be more.
Yeah, shut her down. Put them out of business. Can you imagine being a veteran and then you're held up somewhere, accused of a war crime? Pasta. If there were bodies, definitely a game changer. However, just don't believe there are. If so, show the proof. So far, I'll talk. Yeah, well, even if they show it, I say it'd be interesting in one of those council meetings with the when the president talks. How does this help the country? There is a element of people, I won't call them fringe, but there's a group of people that this is their. I'm guaranteed they don't have. How can I phrase this? A spirituality in their life, okay, or they wouldn't bother them so much. But they got to know this is a big thing. Like this is the most important thing that has ever happened, and I never know it's not. If we have visitors, okay. And apparently they've been here a long time. To me, it's not the most important story there ever was. Depends what kind. The Nordics, I would imagine 5. I don't know. And then there's the reptilians and the grays. I mean, who knows? And the biologics don't even have genitalia. They don't even... they don't have a digestive tract. So, and what is a biologic? It kind of gets a little gruesome. Well, you can. Okay, not all phenomenon is spiritual. All right. I mean, there's a spiritual connection in the sense we're all connected. One supreme being, not a being, one infinite intelligence, the God of all. Let's just say the God of all. All realms, okay, all planes of existence. My father's mansion has many rooms. So we're connected in that way. But you can have demons, you can have evil, you can have apparitions, and then you can have positive spiritual, the light, and then you can have alien civilizations. And you could get them confused. No comments at all about him. Nah. He doesn't really, no. I don't know what the word for that is. It's just frivolous with him. He's just talking to, it's passive aggressiveness is what it is. Pasta, I think it does help the country. It takes the conspiracy out of the conversation. Yeah, even though what they're doing now, they're giving it some respect now. Now if you see something, you wouldn't be ashamed to go tell the authorities, right? But there's a group that want to see it all, and they're, it's just like, then you sit back and you go, well, how does this help society? That part I get it. It takes conspiracy out of it. All right, Secretary Rubio. A strong coalition. Now, here's some good news for you.
The second thing is we had an unprecedented ministerial. 60 countries came to Washington, and we're a part of an effort where we were shedding light on far-left terrorism and violence. The bomb goes off somewhere and it's tied to some right-wing group, or what I don't consider neo-Nazis right-wing, I consider them Nazis, right? But you're going to get a lot of attention on that. But if it's a leftist group, an Antifa group, they get no coverage, or they ignore the ideological spin and the ideological reason behind it. So we got 60 countries came up here and hopefully creating a strong coalition to go after far-left violent terrorism. And go after it and call it by name, and I think we're building a very strong coalition there.
Very good. What about, Mr. Secretary, what about the Middle East?
We've had some successes in the Middle East, Mr. President. As you know, in the diplomatic front, the deal with Lebanon and Israel is unprecedented. President Ayoun was here a week ago. I think that was the first visit by a Lebanese president in over 30-some-odd years. In fact, this is the first time the Israelis and the Lebanese government have spoken at the official level in close to 30 years. And that was thanks to your leadership. A lot of work to be done to keep that peace and build on it, but it's a real achievable. And of course, as you announced last night, Mr. President, this disarmament deal that you brought about with Steve and Jared's work on Hamas is another big step as well. It's something a lot of people thought would never happen. It needs to happen, but the fact they've even agreed to it is a real achievable.
Well, let's finish up the segment. Western Hemisphere.
Last point is on the Western Hemisphere. For the first time in 15, 20 years, the overwhelming majority of the countries in the Western Hemisphere are now led by pro-American leaders and pro-American governments. It's an extraordinary achievement, all of it happening through virtually every election that's happened in the Western Hemisphere since you were elected president has elected someone who is pro-American. And I think this is an incredible situation. And last but not least, and I have to thank a number of agencies here, particularly the Department of War, after that terrible earthquake in Venezuela, within 36 hours, the full force of the American government was on the ground providing humanitarian assistance. It was a sight to behold. The USS Ford, I think, was in their port. Our Marines and armed service personnel were helping run their airport and their tower. It is one of the fastest, most dramatic, and most effective humanitarian responses, certainly in recent history, if not ever. And they came at the direction of the president. In fact, within an hour of that earthquake hitting, I remember because I was overseas, the president called and said, make sure we go in there and help these people recover from this. And we did. And thanks to your leadership, Mr. President. It's a great story. Enough needs to be told about it because the credit goes to so many agencies represented here today, but really the Department of War's effort was phenomenal. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mark.
Yes. And you think the media would cover that? I go to the fitness center, and every once in a while I'll glance up at the overhead television. There's like 24 TVs up there, big, high HD TVs. And they got CNN and MSNBC and the Today Show and Good Morning America. Man, they don't say anything about when America's doing their good thing. with this administration because it's all political. They're not going to reward. They're not going to give any good news on Trump and his administration. So that's the reason I don't watch it. I've lost the credibility with me. No more. It's like Biden and how they handled the I don't want to say it without. I don't want the comments to get turned off. The contagious. What do you call that? Worldwide plague or contagion and its origins. So I don't even. I mean, I have to double check everything they ever say, really. But you know, you think they 36 hour. Hey, that's a good job. Got them down there, help them out. Nah, nothing. Nothing on the news. Turn it off. Uh-oh, Greg doesn't like it. Little Marco running the government. CUBA, no, he's Secretary of State. I mean, the president can't do it all. That's the reason you have I mean, Trump really likes him. He said he was born to do the job. He's a highly effective individual. And he's going to be, I'm going to be covering him extensively from the DOXX Report. And we're not done with Marco, but I got to make it last. But since you bring it up, I mean, it's a great segue. CUBA, great segue. So maybe we should do that now. Then once I get done with this, I'm just going to hang out. And Pasta, as a contractor and all the vehicles, we have to just get the gas prices down. Well, working on it. It's a global commodity. And, you know, there's always reports that Iran wants to talk. You know, hey, let's talk. And then it falls apart. They don't want to, these are religious martyrs. They're willing to die. So I'm looking up $84 a barrel. But then look at Canada. You know, they could be pumping a lot more down here too. I'm with you, you know. Just not sure they will come down to what's a reasonable price. It's got to get under $4. I get super unleaded. And I don't think, and listen, money's, what's the word? Sometimes I don't even look. I kind of glance at the price, but what am I going to do? I'm still going to fill it. I'm still going to use it. I still got to put it in. But he's working on it, I'm sure. You want the free flow of oil at market prices. Well, that's something I would have to look up in chat. GPT, which I can do. Are there fuel or diesel? I can't spell diesel. That's D-I-E-S-E-L. Shortages anywhere in the United States of America. It doesn't want to talk to me. How come? Let's refresh it. What the hell? It's spinning. Well, let's start over. Here we go. I remember when there was, during Jimmy Carter, back in the 70s, I was around. There were fuel shortages. As of August 2nd, 2026, there is no confirmed nationwide gasoline or diesel shortage in the United States. However, the fuel market is unusually tight, particularly for diesel. Diesel inventories are below normal seasonal levels, and gasoline inventories recently reached their lowest level for the first time. Okay. California and the broader West Coast are the most vulnerable region. Yeah, politics. Yeah, they don't like refineries. Ooh, prices there reflect the stress. On July 27th, California diesel average, are you ready for it? $6.67 per gallon. Whoa. Gasoline average is $5.49. Midwest agriculture market is also, okay, where's some more? Florida, now it knows I live in Florida, so it tells me Florida. Does not presently appear to have a general fuel shortage. The latest EIA average was approximately $3.92 for regular. But again, I take super unleaded, so it's going to be over $4. Bottom line, there's a serious inventory and price squeeze, especially for diesel, but I found no reliable evidence of widespread physical shortage. Okay, there we go. You ask, and I'll find out for you, Greg. Now, it's AI, so just not here in Pennsylvania. No shortage in Pennsylvania. Although diesel price, well, that's all about refining this stuff, right? You need refineries. Although diesel prices are insane, it should be the cheapest. It's least refined. I was really interested in diesel engines at one point. I wanted one. I never did it, though. I mean, of course, the best diesel truck, or the what do they have? The Dodge diesel. Did they have, what kind of diesel engines did they have? Cummins. You know, an inline, 6-cylinder Cummins. But it's a lot of maintenance kind of to it also. But, you know, now it's too late. I couldn't even get it in my garage if I bought one. I couldn't even navigate the streets around here if I had one. Although diesel prices are insane, it should be the cheapest. It's least refined. Yeah, but it's big demand, right? Ooh, Greg, I paid a $6.07 for premium in California. Ouch. Well, I know I paid over $4, but you know what? I'm fine with it, because I think I just look at it as the Ayatollah tax, and he's gone. It's just a game they play. Well, it's economics. You know, the more, you know, now there's the demand. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what you mean by game. I watch some of these mechanics that have to work on them. There's a guy, Wes. It's called Watch Wes Work. But he's got farmers all around him, and these guys don't let anything go. The farmers, they'll drive it as long as they can. And I look at the condition of some of these trucks, and I go, man, you got to buy a new truck. But they're, you know, the economics are tight. And he can almost fix anything. It's incredible. But he gets some of those diesel engines in there, and it's just like the computers and all the sensors and everything. He doesn't like some brands, though. Cummins, however, today the big three have all great diesel truck engines. Cummins, not Cummings, Cummins. Cummins engine, okay. All right, let's give a warm welcome to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Cuba, this is today. He was on Fox talking about Cuba.
I think for those who have followed the issue of Cuba, this is not unfamiliar to us, but to the average American, you know, you see Cuba, small country, 90 miles off our shores, you know, 9.5 million people population. What people forget that when it comes to things like espionage and influence operations, they actually are an influence and espionage superpower. If you look at the history of espionage in the United States, Cuba is the only country that consistently has implanted and embedded spies in our system without even paying them. We had an ambassador, a U.S. ambassador, who ended up being a Cuban spy and was recently convicted. We've had them penetrate the highest levels of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Ana Belén Montes was one of the single biggest intelligence failures on the part of the United States and one of the biggest penetrations we've ever had in our system. So, and then on the influence front, if you look all throughout Latin America, every communist left-wing insurgency that's destabilized governments across the region, every single one of them over the last 40, 50 years has found its support, its help, in many cases its birth from a Cuban influence operation. So it was an important report just to highlight the role they play in our country, a very negative role.
Sir, certainly you were exaggerating. You're making that up, aren't you? Let's see. There's an ambassador that was here. It was a spy. Well, aren't they always spying? Let's see. Let me go to my notes. Or not my notes. He must be talking about one former U.S. ambassador. He was our ambassador? Jeez. Victor Manuel Rocha was convicted and sentenced to 15 years federal prison after pleading guilty to secretly serving as an illegal agent for Communist Cuba for over 40 years. Case details: arrested and plea. Arrested in December 2023 after boasting about his undercover work to an FBI agent posing as a Cuban intelligence operative. He pleaded guilty in 2024. Sentenced to 15 years in prison, the maximum under the plea deal, in order to pay a $500,000 fine. Can you imagine? A U.S. ambassador. A diplomatic career, he served in the United States State Department from 1981 to 2002, with high-profile boasts including U.S. ambassador to Bolivia and roles in Argentina, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic. Denaturalization effort. The Department of Justice filed a civil denaturalization lawsuit to strip him of his U.S. citizenship, alleging he began spying before he naturalized and he lied on his citizenship forms. Again, Victor Manuel Rocha. That's incredible. Who's the woman you said? And Ana Belén Montes, did you say? Well, there she is. What about her? Well, let me go get my information here. No, she didn't make ambassador status, but Ana Belén Montes is a former American senior intelligence analyst who spent nearly 17 years spying for Cuba inside the United States government. Known as the Queen of Cuba, she is considered one of the most damaging espionage compromises in U.S. history. Next to the Clintons. No, that's a joke. That's just a joke. The role, senior Cuba analyst for the the role. She was a senior Cuba analyst for the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. The espionage passed highly classified operational information to Havana via shortwave radio. The arrest, detained on September 21st, 2001, just days after 9/11, due to fears she would leak U.S. war plans. The sentence: pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit espionage and served a 25-year federal prison sentence. Current status: released early for good behavior on January 6, 2023, and currently resides in Puerto Rico. Wow, and who knows what's still in there, you know? Get off of my property, you dirty, rotten spy. That's incredible. 4 comments. Pasta, it's the new definition, or the new something. The new pollution control is ruining the engines. I meant a plural. It's how we can say it here. Okay, Greg. You know, I'm gonna. Now that you mentioned Canada, I'm gonna play a clip. He talks about Venezuela. And except for the earthquake, it sounds a little like Canada. You know, it's a. Well, wait till you hear what he has to say about Venezuela, Operation Maple Syrup. Listen, it's really in Alberta's. It's all up to Alberta. If they go succession and independence, then it's going to change a lot of things. Correction, Trump said today, who are you correcting? You're correcting me? Trump said today, Trump says Greenland will be under U.S. control by the time he leaves office. Okay, good. Hope it is. National security. Mr. Secretary of State, you're not done. What else do you have for us? Secretary of State. What about all those protesters running around in America?
The same network of protesters around the country. They were the same people you saw on the streets burning things in 2020. They then flip it around and they become the pro-Hamas protesters, and they flip it around and within 48 hours of Maduro's arrest have pre-printed signs outside the courthouse demanding his release. And then they're out there doing the ICE stuff, attacking ICE agents. There's nothing organic about it. It is funded, it is organized, and Cuba is a part of that network, and in some cases, a critical part of that network. And it's a network they will weaponize against us. And they talk about it openly, about how they will use that network to pressure American policymakers, not just here in the United States like Code Pink, but all over the world.
Yeah, Cuba, communists. It's a national security threat, isn't it, Mr. Secretary?
Everything in there is factual, and frankly, I don't think they can dispute it. People can argue that we shouldn't do with it, and I know there are plenty of people in American academia and frankly in American press that sympathize with the Cuban regime and have for a very long time. Part of it is motivated by their anti-Americanism, and part of it is motivated by ideological affinity. There are enough people in key nodes of our society, including professors, but frankly, in the past, we've seen people within our own government that sympathize with the Cuban regime. It's the way they get spies without paying them. But it doesn't mean we can ignore this threat. Put aside for a moment my history, the fact that I'm Cuban-American, the fact that I grew up in Miami. This is 90 miles from our shores. A failed state 90 miles from our shores that happens to be aligned with adversaries to the United States is a national security threat to our country.
Amen, brother. What about those anti-American YouTubers? Yeah, what about them? All right, here we go. Venezuela, viva Venezuela, viva Trump.
The first thing about Venezuela is I know we're not in the era of patience and persistence, but these things take time. You're dealing with a system that's been in place for over a quarter century. So those are deep roots that you have to deal with. It's also a country that faces a lot
How long has the Liberals been in Canada? 20 years?
problems. I mean, a lot of economic problems, not to mention now they've had an earthquake. So that's why we've always talked about phase one, where our priority was stabilization. We didn't want the country devolving into civil war, mass migration, civil unrest and so forth. Step two is
they're migrating down here. The businesses are coming down here. People are moving out of there to come down here.
Is a recovery phase, which I think we're into. Obviously, the earthquake adds complexity to it. You've got to have a functioning economy. You need to have laws and rules and regulations in place so that investors from America and around the world can go in.
Laws, rules, regulations, and what if you don't enforce them?
And safely invest and create prosperity. Ultimately, you have to have transition. At some point in time, there has to be legitimate elections at every level so that people know that the government that's there is a legitimate government chosen by their people. Step one towards that is the national reconciliation. This is a people that have been divided politically for a very long time against each other. And you're going to have to look at models like what you saw happen in Eastern Europe after the fall of the Soviet Union. And I think the role the U.S. government can continue to play is as a facilitator of all of this.
Okay, let's don't forget China.
On the one hand, all the things that China wants to become the most powerful country in the world, and they want to do so at our expense. Obviously, we are Americans. We're not going to allow that to happen. At the same time, they are the two most powerful economies in the world, probably the two most powerful militaries in the world, although ours is further along than theirs, but nonetheless. And I think it's important for two big countries like this, the two most powerful countries in the world, have to have a relationship, have to have the ability to speak to one another and try to deconflict where possible, because it could lead to some really bad things. The foundation of that is the relationship that President Trump has with President Xi, which is a relationship of mutual respect, and they get along. And that really is important, that our two presidents can speak to one another. And it's okay. I think it's almost irresponsible, by the way, to not have direct communications with the Chinese. We want stability in our relationship. Both sides, I think, recognize that there are areas where we're not going to agree, and including areas where we're going to have to compete. Now, there are areas we can work together on. That's phenomenal, fantastic for the world. But I think there's going to be a lot of areas of friction and competition. We have to manage that at the same time as we have to have a relationship with them, but we always have to look out for what's best for America.
Comments? Excuse me, Mr. Secretary. Well, I'll read it, but I'm not a proponent of this. If your state doesn't do inspections, it's fairly straightforward to delete the TPF and EGR systems at home if you're somewhat mechanically able. Choose a tune on your smartphone and flash it on to get rid of the emission controls. No, I don't. I think they would. Well, I'm not. First of all, I'm not mechanically inclined, and I'm not going to void my warranty. But yeah. According to Pavel, the United States government gets their deleted. What does that mean? Deleted truck straight from Ford. That's a term I haven't heard. Let me look that up. See, not now. Okay, hang on. No, how do I get rid of this? Well, do I just refresh it? Oh, wait a second, I'm on X. I don't want Grok. Now, how do I get out of this? Hang on. I don't want to go there either. Did I log myself out? Okay, I'm just going to delete that. I'll log in later. Let's see, have you heard the phrase, quote, the U.S. buys their, quote, deleted trucks directly from Ford? What does that mean? Searching forward. Oh, yes. The phrase probably was U.S. government buys its deleted trucks directly from Ford. In diesel truck language, a deleted truck has some or all of its emissions equipment omitted. Wow. Or disabled, typically the diesel particulate filter, selective catalytic reduction, DEF system, exhaust gas restriction, recirculation system, and related. Wow. The claim, okay, refers mainly to certain military or specialized emergency use Ford Super Duty trucks. Rather than buying an ordinary F-350 and having, those things are gigantic, and having someone illegally remove the equipment afterwards, the government may order a specially configured vehicle through Ford's fleet system. Ford has offered an EPA special emergency vehicle emissions package for qualified fleet applicants. Oh, get one of those used, huh? The reasoning is reliability. A normal modern diesel can enter reduced power on limp mode when its emission system develops a fault. That's what this guy, Wes, works on things. That's what happens when he works on some of these diesel engines. And he can't figure it out. They may be unacceptable for qualifying fire, rescue, military, or emergency vehicles that must operate immediately. There have been documented Air Force Ford F-350s reportedly delivered without the normal civilian emissions hardware. There you go. Learned something from Pavel today. Thanks for that information. Well, listen, you eating those cheeseburgers late at night, he's a little heavy. How old is he? I think he's only like 2 years older than I am. I heard Trump is on a GLP. Now, all right, what am I? Now I'm the answer. Now I'm the rumor guy. I don't mind doing it. Let's see, how do I phrase this one? Is our beloved President Trump on any weight reduction medications? I don't know if they make that public. I know I can't offer him a drink if he ever visits me because he will not. He's never drank. Based on the publicly available information, no. President Trump has said he has never taken a GLP-1 weight loss medication. I won't mention the brand names because I want to keep my comments open after I leave here. In a January 7th, 2026 interview, he joked that he probably should. Okay. It's a rumor, unsubstantiated rumor, Greg. Longevity. The only person I wish, well, I want everyone to have a healthy, successful life filled of accomplishments and, the best life they have. No, I think I'm not going to say it. I'll wait. I'll wait before I say it. Yeah, I just read that post. Ironically, all the military diesel trucks do not have emission talk about hypothetical. Go to the auction, yeah, but before you monkey around with stuff like that, like Pavel says, you got to have, if you were mechanically inclined, yeah, go to an auction. None of them have emissions. My friend's son is a current Marine. I'll thank him for his service. And a diesel mechanic, nothing comes through with emissions. Wow. There you go, first-hand reporting. It's crazy emissions, all about revenue, all nonsense. Well, yeah, we do all this protection over here, and I do believe in clean coal and that kind of stuff. And then you got countries, China and India, building a coal plant every month or week, and so what does it matter what we do over here? Greg, some things, he's referring to Trump. I'll give you credit for that. Let's give you some credit for that. Hang on. Some cheeseburgers and GLPs, President, some things are just kept secret. I'm sorry, Mr. Secretary of State, let me bring you back here. All right, sir, sorry for the interruption. Let's get you back. Did we talk about, yeah, we did play China, didn't we? All right, what about the elephant in the room? Taiwan.
I can't speak 20 or 30 years from now. I can say that our position is we don't support any change to the current status quo that exists there right now. We would be against any sort of compelled or coerced change in status. That point was made very clear in our meetings with the Chinese. Obviously, they have a very different point of view. It's a very sensitive issue for them. So again, it's part of that delicate balancing act. Because look, any conflict between the US and China, be it economic or be it military, God forbid, would be catastrophic for both countries and for the world. So we have to manage that, but we can't walk away or forfeit our national interests. So this is the hard work of foreign policy, and it requires every administration to sort of balance these two competing tugs against us.
And finally, what about world stability? Let's say if it was a stable world, the media would never report on it because it won't have their elections Their DNC mouthpieces, the media puppets. World stability.
I think the world has always been complicated and tricky. I think the difference now is if something happens halfway around the world in a place you've never heard about before, and it's really dramatic, you're going to hear about it almost instantaneously. I think the world is also going through a period of rapid transformation. I mean, there is clearly a geopolitical reordering that is occurring, and I've talked about this repeatedly. You know, we are, after the end of the Cold War, everybody thought the whole world was just going to become free enterprise democracies and everyone would get along and nation states would no longer matter. And unfortunately, we made decisions in our foreign policy on that ridiculous basis that actually caused us to hurt our country. We started saying things like, we don't care where things are made, let it be made in another country as long as it's cheaper prices for America. And it ended up deindustrializing our country and costing us millions of jobs. So what you see President Trump doing now is rebalancing those things on the economy using tariffs, on geopolitics using our presence in the world, especially in the Western Hemisphere, our own area, neighborhood that we live in. And then, of course, there are legacy threats like the Iranian threat of a nuclear program, which can never happen. The president's been very clear about that. So you have all the old threats plus the emerging new ones, and they're all happening at the same time, and they're happening faster than they ever have before. And it'll be the work of this administration, but it'll be the work of future administrations. Some of these things are going to take decades to work themselves out.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Secretary. Comments? Let's see, what is Pasta saying here? Oh!
Ho! Ho! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Mega value customer. GLP-1 jabs are a tool. Now you're getting to me. Some people need them. They would die before they lose weight on their own. Yeah, and that causes the obesity. If there's like 5 major conditions that take up 80% of the funding for healthcare. Let's go to ChatGPT. How do I phrase this? What are the, I thought it was 5 major categories of health issues that consume the majority of health dollars. Something like that. And, obesity is one of the problems. Because of the diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Insulin's expensive. My dad was a type 2 diabetic, but he was overweight, lost all the weight, his diabetes went away. Okay, in the United States, the 5 broad health problem categories that typically absorb the largest share of medical spending are, number 1, cardiovascular disease. I wonder, I'm going to have to talk to this new physician, primary care physician, when I see him. I wonder if I should get a stress test. I feel like I take one 4 days a week. I don't have any chest pain, but I don't want to wait, if there's blockage. Just see what he says. Cardiovascular disease, heart disease, stroke, heart failure, and hypertension. I know my blood pressure's down, and the word I was trying to think of with with triglycerides. I was doing this, I was working out, but I'm looking at my lipid panel. They were like going up and up, and I thought, put me on the atorvastatin. I'm not giving up my workout thing, and it just put it right down. So now my lipid panel is nice and clean. Number 2, cancer. Diagnosis, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, and newer specialty drugs. Again, this is the 5 broad health problem categories that typically absorb the largest share of medical spending. Number 3, you're not going to believe number 3, mental health and substance use disorders, depression, anxiety, serious mental illness, and addiction treatment. Number 4, musculoskeletal disorders and injuries, arthritis, back problems, joint replacement, fractures, and trauma. Wow, interesting. Now this is Chat GPT. Metabolic and chronic organ diseases, especially diabetes, obesity-related illness, chronic kidney disease. I had I had chronic kidney disease type, like the lowest type. And I kept putting, I don't know, I prayed and it cleared it up. They finally took it off my chart. The lowest chronic kidney disease. Hang on. Chronic CKD. I'm going to look that up after I do this. There is no single permanent top 5. Okay, it changes. All right, interesting to know. The largest takeaway is that chronic and mental health conditions account for roughly 90% of the nation's $5 trillion in annual healthcare expenditures. The largest takeaway is that chronic and mental health conditions account for roughly 90%. Oh, wow, I didn't know it like that. Much of this expense is generated by patients who have several of these conditions simultaneously. For example, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and a mental problem. I threw that in there. Is that wild? I think that's wild. Uh-oh, here's pasta. I do believe our government has a lot of propaganda about China. Yes, they steal and spy, and so do we. We're not like the Chinese. Come on. They spy on their own citizens. Well, some rogue elements here. They steal and spy. They do. Let's see. And so do we. They're not aggressive in some ways as we want the public to believe. That's pasta, ladies and gentlemen. Kumbaya. It's a global community. They need us. And we need them. Well, I'm not a geopolitical expert on that. We need them to behave. We need to have good relationships with them. They're not going anywhere, right? They got 4 billion people or more. Sorry, I'm thumbing fast and auto-typing, screwing up. I have to watch my big thumb. Well, relax, I'm going to be here a while. Oh, 1 hour and 23 minutes. Mega value customer GLP jabs can and do reverse type 2 diabetes. And if they're overweight, losing weight can also do that. Oh, it's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. And some of the people that I don't think really need it. Some of the Hollywood types, they didn't really need it. I mean, a woman has to have some fat. I mean, you can't have just that real scrawny looking type look. It ages them, I think. I would say 75% of the overweight people I know have started on the jabs, all in the last year. Again, I push the workout stuff, exercise. But look at AD Never Calling. He got his weight off, and now he's off of it, and he's going to the fitness center. That's great. Oh, don't say that. I know, but that's a whole different level. And I've had them. No, if it was a kidney stone, it goes. You can be in bed. I mean, I know how I hurt. Well, I pulled the back. I don't know how you describe it. And I get on the sit-up board, and it'll kind of grab. I have to. Because I relax, or I'm sitting in that damn hard chair, and it's not a recliner. Well, I switch the chairs out, so this one should be better on my back. Kidney stones can cause severe back pain and side pain. Well, how mine started, this was appendicitis was 96. Oh, I'm a senior with the medical history record that I'm going to take in. I have it on my things to do. I have to I'm going to reprint it. I'm going to update it and send it and bring it into my new primary care physician when I see this young guy. He looks like he's 29. Frequent health records, personal history. This is last updated March 4th, 2026. Kidney stones, 1993, surgically removed and have been well hydrated since pushing water with no reoccurrence. 1993. What started with me, I was lying in bed early morning, just waking up, and all of a sudden I jerked up off. My body raised up. Something the muscle spasm in the back. It just boom, and I was like, what the hell was that? And then I just started feeling sick, like I got either vomit or diarrhea or something's wrong. Just feeling sick. And then the pain moved from the side came around, and then I bent over, and then because I work on the stomach, and I just kept contracting the stomach muscles, and then I had a nice ride to the hospital. But again, the surgeon that took him out, I remember when I woke up after surgery, he's like right in my face. I told him going in, I'm there by myself, and I said, listen, I'm scared. And he said, this is all I do, and I'm good at what I do. Great, that's what I wanted to hear. He gets in my face. Well, we got one, the other one's in there, and you should, okay. And then I think I did pass one at work because it just felt like sand going through. And I haven't had him since because and he told me you have to generate 1.5 liters of urine a day. So that's the goal. And one thing, now if you take a vitamin or something, it'll color your urine, but your urine should be clear for the most part that you're doing it. Don't drink water don't wait till you're thirsty because then you're dehydrated. You need to push it good. Pavel and Docs, the thoughts on all those meds, so many side effects, and you're risking cancer and everything else. If I were to advise somebody, let's say you had an overweight daughter, overweight son, you say, listen, if you got to do it that way, if that's the only thing that works, okay, but get off your ass. Start walking around, well, it's boring. Well, make it fun somehow. People they rely on their doctor. Well, the doctor gave it to me. The doctor said it. Well, they don't tell you everything. They're busy. For me, 1 in 8 Americans, that's outrageous, or even higher. That's dark trolling, saying that to Doc Greg. That's dark trolling. What did Greg say to me? I haven't, every once in a while, no, if it was a kidney stone, it'd be totally different. Different kind of pain. It doesn't go away. If you stand up and stretch, it doesn't go away. Kudos to Patrick, but didn't he as well have side effects from it? Well, a long term, who knows? If you get a cough or something, I don't know all the side effects. I don't study it. I'm not interested in it. I have a fitness lifestyle. Especially if the same people who were bitching about vaccinations and we don't know the long-term effect, but then you'll take this stuff. Impossible to know how long the long-term side effects at this point pasta. Getting the obesity under control may outweigh them. But I don't think not many people are going to be like, AD never calling. They're going to stay on it. Yeah, it's easy. It's like the guy I work out, that I see him over there, his wife, she likes to bake, and she's not going to exercise. But she lost 20 pounds. She's not going to exercise. Not going to do that. Davy Small, sanctimony. I still say doing it. Oh, yeah. Pavel, for the record, he says that he believes doing it conventionally with diet and exercise is better. But looking around America, that isn't very likely. Pasta says true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 31 minutes. Mega value customer. Millions of people will not exercise and they will not put down the donuts or the Pepsi. Listen, you can have a donut once in a while. And I'm not doing chocolate chip cookies for a while because I'm on the scale now. Now there's no hiding it. You know, I am on the scale, and I just cut it out. And ideally a 190 and to stay there too. I want to go up 5 pounds and down 5 pounds. I want to just take it up nice and gradual to where I'm like down to something I can stay with. But I can still have a decent meal. Pasta, moderation, moderation, moderation. My best friend growing up, his dad was a realtor, and he told me, location, location, location. So I think I've done pretty good. Florida on the golf course. Location, location, location. And that was also part of the Mormon doctrine. Well, I wouldn't call it doctrine. It was moderation. Moderation and all that. Or something. Well, let's look that up. And does the Church of Jesus Christ, well, you got to use that capital with that. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints teach or practice moderation. And that's going to search all the records. Oh, I got to stand up. Holy shit. My legs were hurting. Yeah, maybe I can do this standing up. Yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints teaches moderation, temperance, self-control as Christian values. It's Sunday. Church teachings describe temperance as avoiding overindulging and exercising moderation in one's appetites, behavior, emotions, possessions, and entertainment, and use of time. Now, when I was on the treadmill up in Las Vegas, the state missionary president, there were 2 there in Las Vegas, I think. He told me they banned the missionaries from going into fitness centers while they were on their missions. Don't ask me why. I asked him, and he said, well, it must have been for a good reason. However, moderation does not apply to everything. The church distinguishes between things that may be enjoyed in reasonable moderation, such as food, or recreation, exercise, entertainment, and material possessions. Things members are instructed to abstain from entirely, especially alcoholic beverages, tobacco, recreational drugs, coffee. Oh, really? Still coffee? And traditional tea under the church's health code known as the Word of Wisdom. So, for example, the official position is not drink alcohol moderately. It is do not drink alcohol at all. At the same time, members are cautioned against overeating. I'm telling you, there's big obesity problem with the girls I've seen, the married ones. Where was I? Members are cautioned against overeating excessive dieting or exercise. Oh, really? Well, I guess. What's that? What's excessive exercise? Uncontrolled spending, obsession with work or leisure, and other forms of excess. In practice, individual Latter-day Saints vary, as members of any religion do, but doctrinally, the ideal is a disciplined, oh man, is that where I got it from? Balanced life centered on Christ, moderation in permissible things, and abstinence from prohibited things. And that, where's my, where's Brother DOXX? Brother DOXX, where are you? What happened to Brother DOXX? There he is, that was Brother DOXX. Well, hang on. Now that's not showing. Oh, here it is. Brother DOXX, that was your sermon from ex-LDS member, Brother DOXX. You've done great, DOXX. I think so. But nobody's alive that I can brag to. And my high school buddies, they got married and divorced and served missions, and it's like they're in Utah. They're not leaving Utah. We can use, oh, I got to sit down again. I can't stream by standing up all the time. We can use so many excuses in our lives on why we fail instead of toughing up and being responsible and positive. I had one of those mornings this morning. It was like, I got nothing to do and I don't know, again, make the bed, get moving around, do some shopping. I said my prayers, and all of a sudden, and then once I get the coffee in me, a little bit of coffee, I come home and I switch the chairs around. I'm having a great day. And then I do a stream. You got to get on the dance floor. You can't go sit in a, sideline yourself. I'm guessing that was part of it. Those missionaries were scoping out chicks at the gym. Yeah, and I'm sure that was part of it. Because what happens, if you're a guy in the LDS church, and you come home off your mission, it's marriage time, man. They're waiting for you. The girls, it's temple marriage. And then you get the family. Now you're all in. And if you're at that, like in my case, I was at that age, and you're not on a mission, what's wrong? You should be on a mission. You want me to chat GPT? I'll do that. Are there any studies or statistics? I actually spelled it right. On the percentage of obesity of Mormon women? I'll put that in there. I'm curious. Well, I shouldn't do that. Just say of the Mormon members. I don't think there is. I think as you get older, doesn't matter what religion it is. I'll look for studies that measure Latter-day Saint memberships directly rather than relying on Utah's statewide obesity rate. Oh, really? Maybe we'll have something here. Searching 10 websites, searching 11 websites, 22. Yes! Worked for 22 seconds. Yes! Okay, what was the question? Are there any the percentage of Latter-day Saint adults who are obese? The strongest studies found a BYU, Brigham Young University, led analysis using Utah health status surveys from 1996, 2001, 2003 to 2004 reported that LDS adults in Utah were 14% more likely to have obesity than non-LDS Utah adults. 18% more likely among men and 9% more likely among women. Well, part of a woman's attractiveness, you got to keep that obesity down. This is a relative difference, not a finding that, this is relative difference, not a finding that 14% of LDS members were obese. Okay. A peer-reviewed 2013 study analyzed 9,089 Utah adults surveyed in 1996, about 69% of whom identified as LDS. In the entire combined sample, 11.76% had obesity, and 31.81% were overweight. The paper did not provide a simple, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, bottom line. Let's just get to the bottom line. A reasonable summary is older Utah studies indicate the LDS adults were modestly more likely to have obesity than non-LDS Utahns, with a larger difference observed among women. However, there is no credible current figure stating that X% of all Mormon members are obese. Interesting. Thank you, Mega Value customer. Now, before I forget, I was going to look at chronic kidney disease. Let's see. What are the stages? What are the stages or levels of chronic kidney disease? CKD. I was like right on the border, and then I slipped over, but then it went back up, and I was better, so it's like I want that off my thing. Okay, I had, no, that's the worst. It's based on kidney function, GFR. Kidney function, I was stage 1. I was chronic kidney disease stage 1. That's normal or high filtration, but other evidence of kidney damage must be present. And that's 90. Oh, what am I? Okay, now I got to go look. Now I want to know, what was my last? Let me close my health record, health history. And where are my lab tests? Medicare Advantage Plus. Not health records. Lab draws, here we go. 2025. There's my lipid. Now, where would be the complete urinalysis? Wouldn't it be? Well, that's not it. Comp? There, it's under CMP. Glucose 89. EGFR. Well, it was over 60. So I was good. I was 63.4. I think that's what got me into the chronic kidney thing. So it's good. That shows the health of the kidney. So I'm 63.4, over 60, okay. I mean, if you were above 60, then you'd get the red. Like my CO2 was high. It was 33. And I showed it to the doc. He said the total protein was low, 6.3, but he didn't say anything about it. Globulin was low. A to G ratio was high, 2.5. Anyway, and that was December 17th, 2025. Well, I just will tell you my lipid panel. Now that we're here. Triglycerides, see, that was high. The range is 35 to 160. Mine was 164. And that's on the atorvastatin every other day. Cholesterol, total cholesterol, 168. HDL, which I always thought, higher is better. But I always thought I would be higher because I exercise. Now it's 40. LDL calculated 95.2. DLDL 113. So everything's in range but the triglycerides. All right, now you know that the health of your DOXX report. Oh, come on, I'll give you credit for that. After listening to today's show, it looks like Brother DOXX didn't fully shake the Mormonism. Oh, yes, I have. I don't dwell there at all, really. Oh, I mean, some of these people carry it, to the grave. Either they were at war with them, or they want. There's two types. Well, there's the ones I've noticed, or at least the ones I can observe, of ex-Mormons. They're going to set their record straight, and they're going to go after the church, And there's another set, which I think is even worse, is they want to change the church to suit them, whether it be, women holding priesthood or gay marriage or, you got to keep up with the times. And it's like, hey, you leave. That's not fair to everybody who's been sold. That would be disastrous. If you don't like it, if you can't live it, then, but they don't want to live it, but they want to be embraced by the membership. It's not going to happen. And then I'm the one that I don't bitch about it. I had a great experience as far as at least I had something to go to, and it served me well. But then when I found God, I put away childish things. All right, we're down to 6 people. Oh, maybe it was the Mormonism. Oh, about anything can be addictive. It's really to get away from your true feelings or your addiction is a interesting thing. Pavel, I imagine addictive behaviors are channeled into food. Actually, all of those things: alcohol, drugs, smoking. Let's see. Well, let me read your comment here. I imagine addictive behaviors are channeled into food, while alcohol, drugs, smoking are explicitly banned. Oh, so you're saying, well, I can't do alcohol, drugs, or smoking, so I'll overeat. There isn't a strict ban on any extra box of cookies. That's right. All right, 1 hour, 48 minutes. We're down to 8 people. Obesity. Regarding obesity and Mormonism, okay. And again, I'm not a spokesperson for the church. I've been gone since, let's see. I don't think I've attended a church meeting since 1974, so I've been out a while. All right, what do we got? 7 people watching. Is somebody else streaming? I'll send you somewhere else. I subscribed to some channels just so I wouldn't stream over them. I don't see anybody streaming. What's on television? All right, we're down to 5. Let's call it quits. Oh, is that on? You want to be sent over there? I thought it was you had easy drink over there this morning. No, he was doing the main show. Let's see. That'll shake things up over there if I send you over there. Let's see. Horology Dungeon. Oh, hang on. You really want to go visit the globalist? There's only 4 people over there. Let's see. Somebody's walking out in the woods. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Eddie. Oh, that's just Tanzil having screwing around. It's Eddie. You don't want to go see Eddie, do you? I mean, I'll send you over there if you want to see it. I don't think he really owns it. He's just in on this. It's Tanzil. Come on, you know it's Tanzil. I'll send you over there, but it's Eddie. It's easy is Archie's. Eddie's now that he's sold off the dungeon to Tan. That was trolling by Tan. Yeah, that was a troll. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. And it's so funny to me that the globalist comes back and he's arguing with, again, he argues every time. It's got to control the narrative, no matter what. No matter what. All right, 4 people, 3 people, we're dropping, we're almost dead.
You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed.